Welcome to Season 2, Episode 24 of One Man's Opinion. Today I will be reviewing Martyna, Majok's new Broadway play, Cost of Living, running through October 30th at Manhattan Theater Club at the Samuel J. Friedman Theater at 261 West 47th Street in New York City, and directed by Jo Bonney. Cost of Living is a story of four lonely people and how they find solace, courage, and love in their own different ways with each other. Told mostly in a parallel narrative flashback, Cost of Living opens with Eddie, played by David Zayas, a commercial truck driver who just lost his license. It's not the only thing he's lost, as he explains that his wife had recently died, and he has traveled from Bayonne, New Jersey to a bar in Brooklyn because of a text message he received from his dead wife's cell phone number, looking to find whomever it was that sent the message. From there, we flash back to an undetermined time in the past. Eddie is attempting to reconcile with his estranged wife, Annie, played by Katie Sullivan, who has lost both her legs and most use of her arms. Meanwhile, Jess, played by Cara Young, who is already working 2 bartending jobs, is applying for a caretaker job with John, played by Greg Mazgala, who is crippled as well. Just in case you're wondering, Mazgala identifies as crippled on his website, and in an interview with the Kennedy Center said he has cerebral palsy, and Sullivan is indeed a bilateral amputee above the knees. The relationship between the two pairs, and I won't call them couples because that isn't what this is, develop as Eddie and Annie's relationship reestablish their trust, and for Jess and John, a trust is established, both reaching an apex on stage as Eddie and Jess each wash their respective partners, fulfilling the ultimate trust between each other. Majok's writing, Bonney's direction, and the acting of the foursome create a mix of tenderness, tragedy, and humor. Zayas and Sullivan's banter as Eddie and Annie in their early scenes are both biting and yet darkly comic, as the bitter Annie struggles to find purpose for herself after the recent accident. Both Zayas and Sullivan exhibit a world-weariness that is deeply felt. In turn, Young and Mazgala have a fantastic chemistry as well, particularly in the shower scene, as Jess has to pick up a new John and place him in a shower seat so she can properly bathe him. Unlike the scenes with Eddie and Annie, which is always touched with an element of tragedy and regret, Jess and John's scenes are laced with comedy and charm. Mazgala is charismatic and delightfully devilish at times, and Young delicately balances her role with sensitivity and a love that is both endearing and melancholic. The two stories do ultimately come together in the end, though the opening of the play does indicate, at least in some degree, where it heads. I won't ruin how, though. It is here where the play does have its one true weak spot, though. It requires two of the characters coming together in a way that needs another scene to get there, or at least some fleshing out of a previous scene between Jess and John in particular. My guess is that some of it is left for the audience to assume a logical conclusion between the two of them, but I feel that within John and Jess's relationship there needs to be one final push. I'm not saying that the ending is in any way confusing or lacking comprehension, but it's like a puzzle missing a couple pieces here and there. You know what the picture is, but it's not complete, leaving a touch of unfulfillment. Most of the praise for Cost of Living deservedly go to the quartet of actors, who for Mazgala literally bears all, and Sullivan, who looks like she's risking her life every night on stage during a heart-stopping bathroom scene. She's not, and I won't give away why she's not. And Young and Zayas build up trusting relationships with their co-stars to create some of the most intimate, and don't read sexual here, and tender scenes you'll see on stage. These are great moments in Cost of Living, with some brilliantly achieved scenes all around. The cast is excellent, but I feel though that the story could have been tightened up with some better addressed journeys between scenes. But I'm only one man's opinion, so be sure to leave yours in the comments below. If you're interested in seeing Cost of Living, I'll leave a link in the description. Please show your support for my channel by subscribing, as I am getting closer to the 1,000 subscribers mark, which is a threshold for monetization that comes with being a low-level YouTuber. So I can actually contribute some form of revenue from the channel to doing these reviews. Speaking of, the next review will be the revival of 1776. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you at the theater.